It's the NFL on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bears and the Steelers coming up next.
We are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Bears in this one. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there and not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Hester will get a shot. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here are the Bears backed up to start their initial drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
On first down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A big play that time on the catch and run.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Fighting through. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. McMahon. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. McMahon. Being chased out left. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. McMahon. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradshaw. This one left side, caught by Swan. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They go play action here on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw. That's caught. It's Cunningham. That catch good for only a couple.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears 16. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Personal foul.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against, but you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now a give. It's Peyton. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a give now to Sayers. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
On 3rd down, McMahon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. McMahon, he finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On second down now, Peyton. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Peyton. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second and 11. On the give, here comes Peyton. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. McMahon. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here comes Robbie Gould for the Bears field goal try. And Gould is able to put it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well,
yeah.
Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. Pass incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Bradshaw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On first down, Bradshaw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Cunningham. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. Three, a tight one after one on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. They'll look to throw again, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. McMahon. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. The kick by Gold is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading 1st half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw. Over the middle, complete. It's Cunningham. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
And there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. On the draw, it's Harris. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Bradshaw. He finds his man complete. That's Cunningham. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They missed a field goal earlier, so possibly as a result, that's why they're going to try to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it. This is Harris. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Throwing on 1st down, Bradshaw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Wide open receiver complete. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
And his kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. Hester going to decide against a return, and they will spot this at the 25. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday I press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On first down, McMahon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
2nd and 8. Back to throw. Bradshaw. This will be caught by Brown. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Bradshaw. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown there to make the grab. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Hester going to decide against a return, and they will spot this at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On the draw, it's Sayers. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, McMahon. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, McMahon. And he will find his man on the outside. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, McMahon. He's got a man. That's Marshall. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. He'll drop this off to Peyton. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. McMahon. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing on first down. McMahon, and that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McMahon. He'll drop this one off to Sayers. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
To throw on 3rd down. McMahon. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. From the gun, McMahon. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, McMahon. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, McMahon. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Bradshaw on the right side, caught by Green. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
To throw on second down, Bradshaw. Got a man, it's Swan complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw on second down. Bradshaw.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. On the delay, here's Harris. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bears take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
On first down, McMahon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw. McMahon. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Operating from the gun, McMahon. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Off play action. Bradshaw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. He finds his man. Complete. That's Cunningham. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, Bradshaw. He'll complete this one to Swan. 7 yards the pickup there. Now a handoff here to his running back. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bradshaw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Hester going to decide against a return, and they will spot this at the 25. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, McMahon. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing on first down, McMahon. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, McMahon. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Now a give running left. It's Bettis. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Back to throw. Bradshaw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On On first down, Peyton. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. McMahon. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. On first down, McMahon taking a shot here for Marshall. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. McMahon. Wide open. It's Marshall, complete. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he's got this down to the 35.
50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
This is Harris on the draw. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bradshaw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On 4th down, Bradshaw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
On 1st and 10, McMahon. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down now, Peyton. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Throwing on 1st down, McMahon going for the deep ball. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. McMahon. They get it to Sayers on the screen. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. McMahon. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McMahon. And this is going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. McMahon. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll run now with Peyton, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. They run again with Peyton. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. McMahon. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw on second down, McMahon, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Let's go, baby.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, Peyton. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. McMahon. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On third down, Peyton. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from the 20.
And the Bears are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. Not much there, only a yard. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
On second down, it's Harris. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, third down. Back to throw. Bradshaw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
They'll run on 1st down. Peyton. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Bradshaw. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. On 2nd down now, it's Harris, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So now the Bears down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team once more. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. On first down, Peyton. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
On the give, this is Sayers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
Now a first throw here in overtime. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
They'll try the right side here with Peyton. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. From the gun, McMahon. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McMahon. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a couple.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McMahon, he lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. McMahon. He's going to go up top again.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime.
The kick by Gould is good.
And they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
So it's the Steelers who will have the first chance to go down and score here in overtime as we are back underway. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Throwing to start the drive. Bradshaw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Bradshaw.
Throw right side, taken in by Swan.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back to throw. Bradshaw, and his pass incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. They wanted to avoid the dreaded fourth down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on third.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to fourth down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on third.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. It's brought in by Harris. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Bradshaw.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This a long one to try and keep us going in overtime. And his kick is good. A gut-wrenching moment, but he's able to bang it through from long distance. And they match an earlier OT field goal with one of their own. Just a big-time kick there from a big-time kicker.
I like how you use big time because we usually say that about position players, don't we? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, that goes for kickers as well. And guess what? We're on to sudden death now.
Will 3 points be enough to do it? We'll soon know as we continue here in overtime.
Hester to return from his end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Here's a give now to Sayers. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And, partner, I've not been a huge fan of a certain cliche, but it does actually apply here. Who actually wants it more now? I mean, both of them getting field goals here in overtime.
Yeah, they've been out there a long time trading field goals. Now we'll see who wants it more.
Yeah, mental conditioning as well as physical conditioning is going to determine who wins this one.
To throw on 2nd down, McMahon. And his throw here is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McMahon. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Here comes the Bears punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 1st down, Bradshaw. That's caught. It's Cunningham. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw. Looking sideline, incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They hand this off to Harris, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.